Hey, fool, I need a specialty tool, but I ain't got no money for that. So let's get started. Well there. Gas. Good enough, I hope. Hopefully that'll work. We'll see in a minute. All right, so this Turbo 400 is dang near finished. Got everything inside buttoned up. It's pretty much, I'm just waiting for a valve body. I did make modifications to this valve body yesterday. I wedged in a 223 bullet backwards. It's just a little like a 40 grain something, but it mashed in there pretty good. Was easy to file down. I think that'll seal that off really good. The copper jacket on the lead, and so then I carved it out here, carved it out here, carved it out here. I tapped this hole so I can then put a set screw plug in there. I drilled out this guy. I drilled out that guy. I basically just hogged them out into passages. I hogged out this passage. I need to grind this little piece off of the manual valve. I ground out there, ground out there, ground out there, ground out there. So that should give me a reverse manual valve body that is ready for a external, it should be ready for external trans brake, which I have a trans brake solenoid sitting somewhere. Anyways, I've got a trans brake solenoid, then it'll just go over here where the modulator goes. So this is all set up, but in order to do that, I need to buy the Cohen Park reverse neutral 1, 2, 3 separator plate to make that work. But the separator plate costs more to ship than the dang separator plate. So I'm just gonna wait on the CK Performance trans brake valve body that I ordered, and then put that in there. I don't know when I'm supposed to get it, but I will put that trans brake in this transmission. The tail housing is here with the brand new bushing and whole everything. So when I get that trans brake valve body, I will go ahead and I'll put it on here, get this all buttoned up together, and it's ready to be sold. I have 1 extra forward clutch, 2 extra direct clutches, and 1 extra intermediate clutch in this transmission. So, and I modified the pump for the restriction to the converter so that it's good for an LS motor, so it doesn't push on the thrust bearing and kill the motor. So, excuse me. This should be a good transmission, and it's painted up nice. It's good to go. Just waiting on the valve body. And then, so I started yesterday, I started on this one. This is a Turbo 350. I got the case cleaned up and painted. I'm working on, so here's the piston for the low reverse apply. I got the new seals in it. Getting ready to put it in here, but I don't have the tool to compress it down in the case because it goes down in there first and locks in down here in the back. and then I can start building this up. But I have been working on, setting up the clutches and the clutch packs and stuff. So I've just been cleaning up old parts. And then, so I got the piston. That piston is cut down to hold an extra clutch. And then, so I need to order a couple of more clutches. I think, so this one should get like, I want to say 6 clutches. 5 or 6. That one should have 5 or 6 clutches. I'll go ahead and replace all of the bushings through the whole thing. Yeah, I've got a 4L60E center support for this transmission. So this Turbo 350 should be good for like 550 horsepower by the time I get done building it. And so just working on trying to learn how to do these transmissions and stuff. So Turbo 350 should be an interesting one. Have another empty Turbo 350 case. I've got transmissions laying around, so I want to do some transmission building and get them sold because I could use some funds. But then I've got the 4L80E I took apart to put together. I have the other 4L80E that, oh wait, I probably haven't told you guys about that one yet. So I got a second 4L80E to go through. I haven't even torn it apart yet. Yeah, so there's a lot of transmission stuff going on right now. It's kind of raining. I need to make a couple of brackets to mount the Camaro on the auto rotisserie so I can get cracking on the Camaro to make it nice. So I'm just trying to get some transmissions done so I can sell them, so that I've got a few bucks to keep going on projects and pay bills. So if you're needing a transmission, let me know and I'll see what I can do. I don't want to be like super expensive on them because I'm learning, but at the same time, you know, I've got a certain amount in these things. So anyhow, yep. So I'm going to get working on transmission stuff again today because I have an entire freaking mess of transmissions because the parts, wow. But I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about transmissions. I learned a lot from Precision Transmissions, a lot from Mountain's Garage. There's a whole bunch of them out there. But anyways, on YouTube. So they're good videos. Go check them out. So I also have, so I found out the other one isn't a Turbo 400. It's a Turbo 375. The Pontiac Buick Olds transmission that I got. So, excuse me again. So the other one is not a Turbo 400. It is a TH375. It's a Turbo 375. The case back over there, the Pontiac Buick Oldsmobile. So it's basically, everything is Turbo 400, but the output shaft is 27 spline for a Turbo 350 yoke. So you get a beefy transmission in basically a Turbo 350 spot. In order to change it to straight up Turbo 400, all you have to do is change the output shaft and the housing. So I am considering finding an output shaft and a housing, and so it's just nothing but a Turbo 400. close enough. Ooh, that is hot. Okay, so basically I want to feed this up through the bottom. Ouch. All right, it wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. It took a little finagling, took a lot longer than I figured it would, but I don't know if you can see that down in there or not. Maybe. Anyhow, I'll pull it apart and show you how I did that, because I've got a big chunk of steel. I ended up welding that crap too, but it did work. I would make some changes if I was going to continue using it that way, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll just end up buying the right friggin' tool to begin with. So yeah, okay. Anyways, I'm going to pull it apart and then I'll show you. Wow, that actually took less time than me yapping at the camera. So anyways, as you can see in the Turbo 350, you have this low reverse apply piston that goes in the case, and you have all these stupid springs and everything like a regular drum, but it hooks into the back of the case. So you have to get that compressed inside the case and get that little snap ring put in there and everything. And that is apparently a real pain in the duff. So anyways, here's this piece. I welded a couple of bolts onto it to give some feet to push on there with. Otherwise, I mean, it kind of worked, but the bolts could have been wider spread. And then I could have cut the washer, had flats on it so that I could actually reach that stupid lock ring down in there. And then basically, oh, that probably. So then basically I just welded that carriage bolt to this big chunk of metal. So, and then I just used the nut and then just wrenched it down in on there. So it did work. It was a real pain in the butt, but hey, you know what? I ain't got money for specialty tools at this point, so I'm going to work with what I got. And I think all the bolts and washers cost me like $7 or something, 7 and some change. So not too bad in my opinion, and it worked. It was kind of a pain in the butt. That's the first time I've ever done any of that. So it was a pain in the butt. Probably the more times I do it, the better I'll get and easier to get, but that worked. I'm happy. Now I can start putting this Turbo 350 together.